Hi, this is Aminata. It's been quiet uh, for a while because of the family situation, as I've told you. And then this thing happened, and you all know what I'm talking about. These things that have happened in the U.S., um, which have really brought racism and oppression to the forefront. And so I had to be quiet with that for a minute because of the pain I think that we all feel. And yeah, where do you go from here? And I'm home for a minute, and my dear cousin is helping me fix up the backyard. Nothing MacGyver here. He's very professional, obviously. Um, but wanted to say a few words. My son, who lives in the U.S., my youngest, who's 16, is here with me thanks to COVID. And so we've talked about this, you know, and his first reaction, when we talked about another black man has been killed by the police, he's like, yeah, what else is new? He's 16. And, he said it's sad that he said he understands the rage, but he also says, but this is normal. And one of the things that has hit me too is two things. Number one, that this is normal. And the only difference we have now is that we have cameras. That's the difference. This is nothing new. The horror of it, for it to be in your face, is jarring and needs to wake us up. But please know that this is nothing new. And then the other thing that hit me, well, several things, is besides the horrifying act itself, is that people stood around and watched. And you would like to think that if you were there, you would push that man away. That's all it would have taken for somebody to just push him. But we also know, we've also been conditioned enough by the system that if you dare and attack an officer, they would shoot you on the spot. So we have been inundated by the system enough that, you know, that we stand by and watch. And so I am grateful for the video, but we stood by and watched, all of us, while this man lost his life. So where do we go from here? I I understand the anger and the outrage, but even that we've seen before. And so what I feel and what I do, like I said, I had to get quiet because I was hurt. Don't get me wrong. I was deeply hurt, even though this is normalized part of our living condition. I am deeply hurt by it. Um, but I also see that this is all connected, right? How we treat each other, how we deal with each other, and whether that is with the police, whether that is in our educational system, whether it is in our economic system. Some lives mean less and are worth less than others, and we have all kinds of systems to reinforce that. And a lot of times they're a lot more subtle than this, but it's all connected. There's a normalcy. There's a normalcy of what we have gotten used to and what has become acceptable that we have to change. And so how do we elevate ourselves to be better people? How do we elevate ourselves and push ourselves to be a little bit better? And I see some posts coming by as far as what white people can do to battle racism. Okay. But a lot of the things that are there, then I'm like, yeah, well, everybody needs to do these things, not just white people. And that's not to excuse racism, but racism is a lot more insidious and complicated than just what white people do to black people or what white people do to people of color. That's the foundation, but it's been around for so and so long that it's a lot more complex and insidious. It's not that simple. and therefore it's so much deeply ingrained. I work with people, kind people, wonderful people, and at the least little bit, they fall back into their own patterns, and that, it's there. It's there, and so we talk about, read this book or watch this movie. What about those automatic feelings that come up with somebody like that walks through the door and you think like, that one's probably not going to amount to much anyway. Those little insidious feelings that are there, those are the ones underneath it all that maintain the hideousness of racism. How are we going to attack those? And, I'm at a point that, you know, the idea is to create this space. What are we going to call that stuff out? And to say, I care about you enough, I trust enough that you can deal with that. And don't expect me to carry that or fix that for you. But you have to deal with that. But we all have to deal with that because it's in all of us, and to hold ourselves accountable and to hold each other accountable, to elevate ourselves so we can treat each other a little bit better, to treat each other a lot better. And so this is, and I know that people won't agree with me and that people say, we got to fight. I'm, not like I have the answers, and I'm sure there's room for all of that. But as my 16-year-old said, people want all these things to happen, but it starts with themselves. How do you do that? To hold yourself accountable, to let your people know, like, yo, hold me accountable. If I step out of line, if I say something off, you can tell me. I can handle it. Because I need to address it. I need to change because, we need to be better human beings. And the fact, again, that we can stand by and watch and then be upset afterwards, Anyway, I wish I had something a little bit more cheerful, but that's where we are right now. We've been here before. So let's do something different this time so that we won't be here again or continue to be here, because this is nothing new. Love you all.